Good morning, all my fellow prudent, discerning, sagacious, ultra mega Americans. Well, I'm back from my sabbatical. Yeah, let's go with that. Now, how come a person with only a high school education like myself has such a fine vocabulary? Well, I'm a bibliophile. I love to read. It's my favorite form of entertainment. What's your favorite electronic device? If you're as old as I am, it might be a desktop. If you're slightly younger, a laptop. Younger still, a tablet. And, well, if you've reached your majority in, say, the last 20 years, it's probably a smartphone. Now, I own all of those electronic devices. I have a desktop, a laptop, a tablet, and a smartphone. None of those are my favorite electronic device. For me, it's my Kindle. It is still my favorite electronic device, the one I would hate the most if I didn't have one. Let's take a look now, though, at this NBC News headline page. The very biggest story, the untold story of Ginny Thomas, anti cult activism after she was deprogrammed. Now, why the hell would I be interested in Ginny Thomas? Oh, yeah, she's the wife of Clarence Thomas, the Supreme Court judge. Still don't want to listen to her. If I want to listen to somebody's opinions of import, I'd want to listen to Clarence Thomas. But because he's a good judge, he doesn't talk about his private opinions. He wants to keep them buttoned up. He wants to keep them under his hat. He wants to try to be as even as possible in his judgments. So he doesn't go spouting off his opinions. He constantly tries to put them to one side. I'm not saying he doesn't have them. I'm just saying he tries not to make them all important. In fact, I bet he and his wife are like me and my wife. Now, there are many political opinions that we agree on. There are many more we don't, but for the most part, we don't talk politics at all. Now, before I retired, I didn't talk to my wife much about my job. I didn't talk to my wife much about politics. I still don't. I'm pretty sure Clarence Thomas and his wife don't either. They talk about family matters. They talk about their upcoming vacation. They talk about their house, their car, money problems. We'll get on to that in a minute, though. Let's take a look at these other two stories that predominate the headlines here on NBC News this morning. Jan 6 committee abruptly postpones Wednesday hearing. Yes, all of a sudden, there are cracks forming in the January 6th committee. I wonder what's going to happen on Wednesday. And I'm not that curious. I haven't watched any of the hearings yet, and I don't intend to. Let's take a look at this last top story. Morticians describe the devastating toll assault-style weapons inflict on bodies. Well, if we were to take, let's say, Brandon's definition on assault weapons, they would include 9mm pistols. And according to him, a 9mm round will vaporize a lung. Holy cow! I didn't know 9mm were that effective. In fact, I didn't even know that the old military Colt 45 was that effective. Now, let's get back to assault style weapons. They never really define it, but From what Brandon is saying, I'm thinking he's thinking that anything that has a mag in it is an assault style weapon. So if you've got a revolver, that's fine. But if you have a 9mm magazine fed pistol, well, you've got yourself an assault weapon. And hell, you hit somebody in the lung, you're gonna vaporize that bad boy. Yeah, I got the feeling that if old Brandon had to go to school again, he'd be taking the small bus. As you can see, the headlines are predominated by everything but what's really important to Americans. We see what's important to the Democratic propaganda news outlets. They want to talk about January 6th. They want to talk about weapons. They want to ban them. They want to destroy the Second Amendment. But here's what's really important. You can't even find it. If you scroll through the top things you can click on to look at different news items in NBC News, take a look at it. They want you to look at politics first, and politics second, decision 22, and politics third, plan your vote. Then there's world news, then there's COVID, politics again, U.S. news finally, opinion, Pride Month, but not what's really important. You see those three bars on the right? If you click on that, a tab will open up to all different types. Now we're going to open up the tab I consider most important. Business. Yeah, take a look at this. It offers the same tabs to click on. Once you get to business, it still doesn't want you going to business because, well, take a look at their top story. It's got to be an opinion piece. Stocks give up earlier bounce. Now, stocks dropped 800 points yesterday. They're down over 200 points today. In the last 2 days, the market has dropped 1,000 points. And they say the S&P 500 is little changed. Let's take a look at what else they consider is important. At least this one is. Coinbase to cut 1,100 jobs amid turmoil in crypto markets. Yes, you see, we're under, I consider, a triple whammy in the economy. The stock market is falling. Jobs are being lost. Prices are rising. What's the average man to do? Let's take a look at a few more of the headlines. Kremlin tries to look immune to sanctions, but new Russian cars show cracks in the facade. I don't care about Russia except what we buy and sell from them, except for the fact that Biden has imposed all these sanctions. He doesn't seem to care about the U.S. public, does he? At least Jack Daniels has something new. Jack Daniels and Coca-Cola. Mix it up with official cocktail can. I hope that means you can buy Jack and Coke in a can. Might be a fun afternoon. And Bitcoin plunge breaks below $24,000 as 200 billion wipe off crypto market over the weekend. Well, like most people, I've never invested in crypto, so it doesn't affect me specifically. Generally, it does because with crypto falling, that's just one more knock in the economy, isn't it? Let's go down a little bit more. CEOs of GM, Ford, and auto automakers urge Congress to lift electric vehicle tax credit cap. I don't want to pay with my taxes for rich people to buy an electric car. I don't think there should be a tax credit at all for electric vehicles It's the only way electric vehicles make any sense at all, is it? Without that vehicle tax credit that's paid for by me and you, even the rich wouldn't want to buy an electric vehicle. Finally, we get to a little bit of truth. S&P 500 tumbles 4% to new low for the year, closes in bear market territory. Yes, we are well and truly in the new bear market. Thanks, Brandon. All right, let's take a look at a few more before I end this. Nationwide gas prices hit $5 a gallon, AAA says. Well, they've been $5 a gallon here in Hawaii and even higher in other places like California, where I think they're averaging over $7 a gallon now. Wells Fargo under criminal investigation over hiring practices, report says. I wonder what their hiring practices were. One can only guess because I'm not going to read the story. And take a look at this. This is an old one. Tampon shortage adds to long list of consumer woes amid record inflation. Yes, we all are familiar with the now famous Uncle Joe running off to Europe and spending American tax dollars and American military might for the Air Force to fly in tampons to, I think it was Illinois. Just another failure for the Brandon administration. Now, here's the final one. Food prices soar to 40-year highs, pinching shoppers at groceries and restaurants. It's not only food prices that are at a 40-year high. Gas prices are at the highest rate ever. Rents are going up. The cost of borrowing is going up. Everything you want to buy and own is going up faster than your paycheck, if you're getting a raise at all, if you're holding on to your job, and even, bless you, if you've got any money in the stock market, that's worth a lot less than it was since Brandon has taken office too. Now, Brandon doesn't like to admit it, and, well, Bill Clinton is most famous for this, although it wasn't originally said by him. It's usually credited to him, but it goes back a few years before Bill Clinton. It goes back to another Democrat/Republican, good old Bush. But let's now hear from who said it best.
It's the economy, stupid. Did you ever hear that one? It's the economy. It is indeed.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait until November.